Here we go.
Farm Companion.
I said it was Hunt Companion.
With a little lead up to that.
I wish it was Hunt Companion.
Yeah.
It's not that time of year.
Nope.
We're into April, though.
Yep.
That's a plus.
Yep.
Slowly making progress forward.
I'm going to turkey hunt next weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's youth season?
Youth season. We got a bunch of kids coming out.
I don't think I'm going to go in Ohio. No. Kids got a race on Saturday or something, and, you know.
Yeah.
And then
saw you guys ripping some lips the other day.
We were, the new pond. Farm Companion, new pond behind the house.
Fishing Companion. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It was funny. So the guy, it was awesome. Guy came, delivered all the fish, super healthy, like way bigger than I thought. Got some golden/palominos in there, which is really cool.
Got to be some great jokes for, what do they call the guy who delivers all the trout?
Yeah.
The trout master.
Trout master. That's him. He's cool. He's a big hunter.
Trout lord.
Yeah. He's a big hunter, and we were just shooting the shit while we were stalking. And, but he was saying that the drought last year, like, really affected the hatcheries. That most of them don't have the fish numbers and weren't able to feed a lot of the last year's fish to get them to growth because it got too hot. Like, you can't feed them once it gets above a certain degrees and supplemental feed them at least. And so, like, our buddy, so Alex Charlton works up at Nemacolin now, guiding, and he's like, dude, we can't get fish. Like, we don't have any fish in the stream. There's like 6 fish that we're like casting at the same time. And I was like,
really? Aren't most of those native up there?
No, they're all stalkers.
Really?
Yeah. And
even don't they get real big ones like further up the river and stuff?
Yeah, in some of they're stocking them as fingerlings.
Right.
At that point. Yep. But he's like in the streams up off of that. And yeah, I had a bunch of people that when they saw that, they're like, "Where'd you get trout from?" And I booked it in January.
Oh, wow.
But apparently that was it. Like, they don't have any more. Like, everybody's out.
Wow.
Even the state was light. Like, we went on Youth Saturday, which was last weekend, and like took like 2 hours to find any fish, and then finally found like 5 trout in one hole.
Yeah.
So I assume like just took a big toll with that drought and heat on the hatcheries. And
when are we open for adult?
Tomorrow or Saturday?
This weekend.
But you catch them in
hard to find them though, huh?
Catch them in Ohio with how high the rivers are going to be.
Oh yeah.
They're blown out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So but yeah, so it was fun. We went out. We had a track meet yesterday, but we went out last night and Carter caught one. It was like blowing like 60 miles an hour. It was like, I think all the fish were down deep. But yeah, it was fun. First night they caught
Harlan's over there with just a snag hook.
Dude, he was pissed. Well, like first cast, we're in there like standing. I've got like an aerator in there, and like he's like cast like winding. I was like, dude, just leave it, like sit out there for a little bit. Like, they're gonna find it. He's bringing in this big palomino, comes up and smashes it. And, he misses.
Yeah.
About hooks me in the face.
Yeah, jumped the gun.
Oh, yeah. And he was not happy about that. Yeah. Nor was he happy when Mom was like, "You got to come in. It's time to get a shower." And he's like,
yeah. You guys will have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. So we were talking, one of the guys that I was at the track meet with, he stocks his pond, and he's like, most of my fish live till like July. And he said after July, depending on weather, because it gets hot in those ponds. So it'll be interesting. I've got some natural springs that go in there, and it's deeper, and I've got the aerator, but, I assume I'll have some fish kill off, but I don't know. We'll see. Regardless, worth the money to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Are there smallmouth in it too?
Not yet. I'm going to catch some out of the river.
And those will be more durable, right?
Yeah, and the crappie will be more durable. Yeah. The trout are the real sensitive ones to all of that temperature-wise. Yeah, I mean, for the next few months, it'll be fun, so... Yeah, it was cool. It was fun to catch some of those in there, and it's cool to have a pond in the backyard.
Yeah, for sure.
Long time coming.
Sweet. Well, dude, let's wrap up from our last Farm Companion, which was in Illinois.
Yep, after day 1.
Yep, so we had one more day ahead of us.
We were in the...
And I think you won
the village
on the
of Paul.
under-over.
I did. 6, I think, is where we finished.
Is where we landed.
Not including deadheads.
Yeah, and I don't think you count deadheads. As much as I'd like to.
Yep.
Here, we can hold them up real quick for...
Yep. So that 4-year-old, Edward Skizzer's hands.
See that one?
Yep.
Nice 4-year-old 8-point
Yep, we found that in a cup being filled. This is the kamikaze buck that you passed after he got shot twice.
It's a great deer.
Yep. That's a 4-year-old that we believe.
And then this
And then that 2-year-old. Yeah.
3-year-old. That one is.
3-year-old.
Yeah. 3-year-old. Again, 8-point. We found all 8-point sheds.
He was all over the place. And then we found like a little broken 4. We
didn't find it.
an oldie.
We did find one more that next day. Just the one, right? That stinky one.
Yeah, it's stinky hole. The whole
stinky
hole in the
hole
horn.
shed.
The hole in the horn. Yeah.
That was disgusting.
That was a weird one. Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, that one, and then we found basically like 2 oldies. So, it was surprising, I guess, a bit, just because of how many racked bucks were in that clover plot.
I think they got cleaned up a little bit. I think we missed some
Animal cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that they get pulled into like brush piles and carried off and stuff a lot.
That's exactly what I mean. Case in point is most of these good ones we found out in open fields with less critters.
Yeah.
And we didn't find nearly.
Well, yeah, and this was the one I found in that woodlot, and you could see, and he had held pretty late. We had him on camera late, and he's already chewed up.
Mm-hmm. So I think some got drug off, and just the lack of old sheds, and then the ratio of ones that we found in fields versus timbers. I just think the critters are doing a number on them.
Yep, and I mean, we expected it. I think the couple things that were strange to a point were all the sheds that we found were up close to that clover plot where we had been seeing those deer. Our standing grain side, we found one shed by.
Mm-hmm.
That was the stinky shed. Like they just.
In fairness, that kamikaze was technically standing grain. There's corn there.
Yeah, that's true. He did drop there.
But yeah, most of them are on that
north side,
northern end of the farm where you just had that clover plot there. Whether it was relating to that or not, I don't know. But I will be curious to see with clover now in the cove on the south end if that does.
Mm-hmm.
I got to believe they're gonna shift into that.
I would assume so. So. I thought we would have found this match because he had this side on late. We got a picture of him half racked for a while there. No pun intended with half rack hub. But we did not, and we did not find the 11, which was the one that I think we were hoping for to find.
There's a great spot for a promo code there. We say on the rack hub stuff, and some of these will end up on the RH1s for sure. That's what we have on some of these.
I just bought a bunch of RH1s
behind the wall and stuff,
and I think a set of 2s for the Ohio cabin. I'm gonna put them on the wall and then just change them out as I get new ones.
They're sweet, dude. I just rearranged some of my office and stuff. So you guys can use code HUNTR on the rack hub website to get any of those. That's the singles and doubles behind us. So those are cool.
Yeah. So these 2 4-year-olds though, I think we're pretty excited about. We estimated this deer matching side would have been 146 and change. So this guy was probably high 30s, probably. So both of those deer will be good 5-year-olds next year. That 11 will be a great buck.
Oh yeah,
super buck, and it was kind of I don't know. Expecting to find maybe other dead heads and or other sheds from deer that like we had seen, but then kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. We found, I guess, probably a number of dead heads I would expect, maybe obviously, because I guess slightly less sheds, but I think we know why. At least that's take a stab.
It was good to find that 2-year-old or 2 years ago, 4-year-old dead head.
Agreed.
Like just to like completely put that out of our brain that like maybe he did. No, he's dead.
Yeah, found him.
I mean, to a T, ran across that field, got whacked at, probably took one in the guts, made it up into our bigger block of timber, pretty far up actually, into that bigger block of timber and died. And then we found a 5-year-old 8 that we had seen periodically in the season, just not ever real consistent. I assume sometime in October or November he got shot and ended up in our woodlot dead.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, on the project side of it, I'm happy with what we got done there. So you put we put clover seed or whatever Jeff calls that, in the spring.
Yeah, it's his perennial power blend, which it's a bunch of different clovers. It's got some alfalfa, bird's foot trefoil, I think, and I think that's it.
Cool. So you put that down into north. The cove. What else? Where else did you put that?
In the corn cove.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Just in case they weren't going to plant that.
Yeah. Did you hit that strip down on the pinch plot?
I did. Yep.
You did. Cool. So yeah, we basically frost seeded all of our either existing clover or spots that we wanted to be in clover in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And where Jeremy's talking about in the corn cove, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to work something out to have standing grain there with the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to do that on the way home, which is awesome. So like basically we got a 6-acre cornfield, and like Maggie, our farmer, will just break it down. Here's the math. Here's how much it costs us to plant it. Here's the yield, and here's, at $4 a bushel or whatever.
We're just looking to break even.
Here's the cost. Yeah, so she was willing to plant that 6-acre field and corn for us this year and leave us 2 acres standing.
Yep.
And it basically break even. So she doesn't pay us for the rent, and we don't have to pay for the corn,
yep, which is awesome.
Awesome. 2 acres of standing corn is a good amount.
Yep, that'll be perfect. So yeah, we got that done. I mean, the 2 big clover plots are our North and Cove plots. Cove was in beans this year, so that'll get put into clover.
That's going to change a lot, I think.
Yeah, I would assume so too. We also talked to our ag supplier down there about spraying our CRP. So we got actually an email, which I didn't sign yet. Remind me to do that. Yeah. Do we sign it when we're done?
I don't know. I got to respond to him and say, like, are we changing this?
Yeah.
Or?
So anyways, we got an email from NRCS that said, hey, based on an inspection that actually occurred last year, they found some fescue. What else they find?
Yeah, just like
woody stuff. Yeah, some woody stuff. Yeah, encroachment on the CRP per the contract. And essentially, the re-enrollment is coming up. So if we want to qualify for re-enrollment, we have to either spray it and or burn it to set that stuff back. One of those fields is our largest CRP field, which is like 28 acres or something. So we obviously, that's a lot to cover with our little sprayer with our UTV. And so we called the local farm supplier and basically said, hey, here's what we need. Like, what do we do? And I guess they do provide that service.
Yeah. Yeah, or they're connected with, I don't know, a spraying service.
They sell the chemical for it, so whether they're doing it or have a service, but they're going to basically work something up for us to spray that here in the next couple of weeks before the warm season grasses
just like at the commercial level, and that field is big enough, so when they're in the area going through and doing all their commercial spraying, they'll go through and spray. I haven't heard, I talked to her on the phone. She hasn't responded to my email there yet, but I'm hopeful that will be a good situation for us.
Yep. So that way, and we had done some, actually we were going to end up planting it. We did some gly spraying around this time last year, maybe a little earlier. And where we had done that and didn't plant, the switch and stuff just like exploded. Mm-hmm. So it was really like, it's hard to look at those fields and say, wow, they look so good, but there is a lot of competitive cool season grasses and stuff underneath there that need to be killed to release or make room for that warm season grass.
Yeah.
So that should be excited.
I trust the farm, people when it comes to like knowledge of chemicals more than myself.
We're just like, hey, this is what they said. Do what you need to do.
Yeah. So I gave her, what I was thinking, but I said, hey, if you think there's a better strategy, then let us know.
And then we also really examined kind of the middle of our farm, which this year was standing corn, and we did some mowing corn at the end of it to terminate it out. But we're putting beans in it this year.
That was great. That was the first tractor therapy. Well, I sprayed some fields earlier, but that was get to mow all that corn off.
Yep, mowed that corn off, and then we mowed basically where we're going to come in and spray for switch.
Yeah. I think the move for that too, just because, like for a grain, I think you can get away with like one heavy spraying, like at the time of or slightly before seeding, which would be drilling. With switch, I think you want to actively manage ahead of planting that as much as possible.
I would agree.
Just to limit, because it's not like it's not a Roundup resistant like beans where you're going to come in after and treat it. Mm-hmm. So I think we mowed it now.
Yep.
I think that we need to have somebody go and spray it for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll get somebody in there to help us spray mid-April, in the next couple of weeks, Glide and 2,4-D, and then we'll spray it again at time of seeding mid-May.
Yep.
Which is when we'll do our beans as well.
So have a really good kill before we put it in there.
That's right.
Yeah, and then,
two good killings.
Yeah, there'll be some wheat, whatever. And then next year we'll go in with simazine and do the whole works, basically.
Yeah, and I think the thing we were still on the fence about was if we want to try pine trees this year or not into that switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say getting it sprayed in April is definitely a prerequisite to that.
If we're going to plant them.
Because the only thing harder than spraying switch that's up is switch that's up that has pine trees in it.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
So, because the long term, one of those blocks where we're going to do switch is, or that we're thinking we're going to do switch is long term, just ice insulation from the road. And my suggestion is, I think pine trees. I think that's what we do there, and that creates some sort of a bedding situation there too, probably, and maybe changes the dynamic. But there's all kind of things that are changing, frankly. So
yeah. So those are the projects on second day.
I got excited because, but then I remember we already talked about the foundation and stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm stoked that that's happening.
Yeah, that's good. Which I called them. They didn't call me back yesterday. I'll call them again.
Yeah, that's the move. Now's the time.
So so that's the big stuff. I mean, we walked a lot more. Good sign. Definitely not nearly as much deer sign on that south end where the grain was standing as there were on the north end. For whatever reason, that's just how it was. But clear like funnels, and I mean they're in there, especially during the season and stuff. So we're just trying to insulate the kind of where they are bedding currently more with some of the switch additives that we're talking about. And then the destination food plot essentially is right there off of that. So whether we're hunting that and or hunting a peripheral of that destination, we should provide a little bit more buffer with this switch add-on from a bedding standpoint, and then food's pretty close by.
I like it, dude. I'm really excited about the layout that we have, and I think short of, buying neighbors and stuff like that, I think it's shaping up pretty nice. Yeah,
we're doing everything that we possibly can to make that attractive, and big leaps in the last, even last year was a big leap, and it was just kind of an off to a point deer year just in terms of how they moved and what was going on as compared to the year before where, I think they had to move more because there just wasn't food right out their back door essentially. But getting a beat on them, rotation in crops this year, so it'll be all corn around us, which was what we had the first year. So I don't know how that will change things up. We'll see. But yeah, overall happy with it. Super efficient in the trip. I mean, we left at 3:30 in the morning on Thursday Eastern time, and we got home at I got home at 11ish p.m. Eastern time on Friday.
Smooth.
So when people are like, "Oh, it'd be nice to have all that time," bro, you just jam it in. You're putting 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing. I'd love at some point to have 2 or 3 days to just do some cleanup around the house there and stuff. Just consolidate some of that old, equipment and stuff, and then be able to mow some certain areas, maybe pull some fence lines out of there. And so hopefully we've got that in our future
at some point. Yeah. Just make the most of the time and the weather that you're given. And, but yeah, it was good to get out, walk that. I mean, I think we both came out of there knowing a lot more about that property and how it sits and how those deer are using it after being able to walk everything, essentially.
Fired me up, dude. I came back yeah. I just, it's nice you need that shot in the arm every once in a while to be like, oh, that's what we're doing it for.
Yeah, and we talked about it, I think at the end of the second day is we walked off of that farm, having walked a lot of farms that are not good. And we walked off that farm hey, this is a good farm.
Good farm.
Yeah.
Great farm.
Yeah, it's 144 acres, so it's as good as it can be for that. But yeah, we walked off of that feeling we have a really good chance here of killing some big deer. So
yeah. Well, it feels good to have a handle on some of the resources to get it there. It's hey, we've made some progress, but things like our relationship with the farmer, things working with NRCS on some of the CRP stuff, some working with the local ag service on how to spray that at a grander scale.
I didn't. Well,
to have bracket out there with the drill and stuff too for us to be able to go out and do that stuff when it's time to. It's all the pieces are to have. Even the home contractor there to be able to help us with that piece. It's all right, we're settling into the area, and it's nice to have resources at our disposal.
Yeah, I didn't even know so last year when we bought it. 2 years ago when we bought it, they had mowed it because that was the mode of action essentially to do things on that property he selected. He didn't do fire, he did mowing. And so when it came to like spraying and stuff, I didn't even know if we could spray it. Like we talked about it last year. It's like, boy, should we spray this? And I'm like, I don't know if we can per the guidelines, clearly, because they want us to spray it.
Right.
So yeah, I think that describes it best in terms of you saying like we're settling in. Went and had an awesome dinner down at Spoonie's.
Yeah.
Watched some NCAA basketball. Crushed some walleye and burgers.
I think one thing that may come up down the road here is we may want to get a bead on how to handle some of the multiflora and/or because we're going to want to do some TSI at some point, and I think before
it's going to explode if we don't
touch that, we should do something there.
Yeah, you're going to need a strong chemical on that one.
Yeah,
and some sort of like a Mazapir or something. Woody focus.
I wonder if fire will kill it. I don't know the answer to that. If fire will kill, if it'll kill.
I think it top kills it.
And if it does, still you'd have to. Well, maybe we just talk to Jimbo and see if we just burn through his stuff if he would care.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you got to put a brake in all the way in the line, and
that's impossible there.
Yeah.
How it sits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless you burn it down the hill, which you don't really want to do. I guess you could.
Actually, yeah, no, that's the way you could do it.
Burn it down the hill to the bottom and have a break in the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to set that
into a south
I'd
wind.
love to set that whole place on fire.
Yeah.
I'd love to. We need to know though if that will kill, because boy, that's the answer.
I'm pretty sure a Mazapir will do it. I don't know if I can just that might be one of those restricted ones, but that's what they use in a lot of the pine plantations to kill hardwood stuff.
Well, Glide will do it. I mean,
yeah, I think you got to really nuke it though, right?
I don't know.
I think a Mazapir is a better situation for it because I think it has soil active as well.
Huh. Well, the application seems like more of a challenge than the chemical.
It's going to be a pack on your back and spot spraying it as best as possible.
And I just don't know if that's possible or feasible. Could you take a UTV through there in some areas? No?
No way.
Yeah.
No, and I don't think it'd do you any. It wouldn't be any more efficient than a backpack.
Yeah, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But well, yeah, it'd be nice if fire was a solution there, but I don't know if it is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No.
And if it is, it might be a now time frame. Like I have to have green up on it to top kill it.
Well, yeah, anytime from now moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Yeah, so that's Illinois. I think we're in great shape there. I've had a lot of other things in the works here too. With it's kind of tag season right now, so
it is.
I told you. I don't know if you're. I'm going to end up way ahead of you, and we'll just deal with it.
It's weird. I don't have any desire to hunt out west. I just don't. I mean, the muley thing is cool. I love North Dakota and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't have the elk bug.
No, I don't either. I do want the option though.
Yeah,
I want the option.
I think it will catch up with me. It's just time. Dude, I don't even have time to go to my farm right now, let alone think about a western hunt.
I know, but you do have time to buy the points.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. Is it will catch up at some point when the kids are growing up, and I'm like, oh, I have time now.
Well, it will or it won't. I mean, you'll always have opportunity, and who knows? Maybe I won't get to use some of these, but I picked up all my points there in Colorado, friggin' everywhere.
Yep.
Utah, Montana. I'm a little afraid I think I put in for Montana. I didn't know how to get just the point. There's a chance I draw an elk tag in Montana, but
oh wow,
which I hope not. But
yeah, that'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting. We'll see. Yeah, good problems, I guess. But so all that's been going on, and in the meantime, here I think I don't know how far we're going to talk through it today. Probably not that far, but we figured out, I think, a pretty good situation in Kansas. So we've talked in the past about pulling out of southeastern Kansas, is where we have hunted all these years.
Yeah, I mean, I've been down there since 2013.
Yeah, and it's just got to a point where the pressure on public land is too great, and the leases that we had there just couldn't sustain the four of us, which is you and I and the dads.
A lot of pressure on the private around that wasn't there before.
Yeah, it's just getting out of hand. So we're like, boy, we got to try something different. So going to a new area, and we so we have a cool combination between some leases and also there's an outfitter that we've been building a relationship with now for a little over a year, frankly, just kind of because it's no secret, like you and I are not looking necessarily for like a quote unquote outfitted hunt, like not that experience. However, the ability to have somebody in an area to help you navigate, property access and or, do some stuff with cameras and this and that on, for you is a huge asset. And so we're like, man, whether it's an outfitter or a friend or whoever, an acquaintance, a lot of people have a hired hand type of a thing.
Which is how we got started in Southeast Kansas, is we had acquaintances down there that basically, that's who we stayed with and that's where we ate and
Yeah. So at some point we'll disclose to everybody who that is, and I know that they will have some openings in the future stuff for the outfitted stuff, and I think so. The what's so cool about that is we'll have the perfect situation to be able to bring the dads in with us, have frankly help getting them set up on pre-hung stands and stuff like that, because that's generally you and I are doing that, and if it's on the leases or on public, it cuts into the first day or two of the hunt to get those hung and stuff. And
not to mention usually at least one trip out in the summertime that we probably could use elsewhere, that we're essentially out there scouting and picking ticks out of our buttholes and everything else, trying to, and it's just not enough time, and we're unfamiliar with the area, and then a camera dies and it's a complete bust anyways.
Yeah. So I'm just really excited about that connection that we made with that outfitter there. We have some other leases that we're looking at.
We've got a lodge to stay at. We've got food. The dads will be taken care of. That will relieve a lot of pressure from you and I to just be able to like go hunt,
bounce, and go right to those leases there and do our thing. So, and not to say we wouldn't if that outfitter's like got some good deer running there, then we very well.
It's access. We just need access to land. That's what it comes down to.
Give me the keys, man. Let me go.
So I mean that's been a big piece of it, is just trying to figure out where are we going to go to get access. And make it a little easier on the dads for access.
Yeah. So I personally feel a lot of like security having gotten that kind of ironed out. I think we know where we're going, and that's going to be a good situation.
Yep. So we're putting in. You started a group yesterday or 2 days ago, so we'll all put in for the group, and then figure out drawings in June probably. So
go from there.
Yeah, that'll be awesome on that side. Dude, obviously, like this rain and warm again, like my clover plots are just like exploding.
Yeah,
I need to do a little touch up with them. I'm gonna try to hit them. We were talking about this on the way home, so I think I'm gonna hit most of my clover plots with IMOX this year, to really have that ability to kind of spray everything once. Don't worry about cleth and buterac. And just nuke those things, and then that clover should really take off. I'll probably mix in some like 318 from Deer Grow into the same tank and hit them all at once.
Yep, I think we should do the same with that north plot in May. Just especially. I
just bought some new IMOX, so I got some.
Yep,
yeah, that'll take care of both. So it'll be any broadleaf weeds and any grasses in those clover plots will be
perfect.
Will be good. Perfect. So so that'll be a big one to start looking at here. We both ordered beans, so those are taken care of. I've got
here before you. Yeah,
I've got corn. I'm gonna go in the ground. I probably won't put it in until like early May. It'll be later this year, but that's what I do every year. Just after I lost that crop that one year in late April, won't ever do that again. Tried to plant like a farmer, didn't work.
Caught up with you.
Yeah. So man. So I think we got a bunch of stuff going on there to
check this out. This is a contingency here, and I thought of it because he just called me. It was DeQuisto. We may or may not be doing a mobile hunter roadshow at my farm in Ohio this year.
This could put the pressure on him,
which would be super cool. There will be one in the area regardless, but there's a good chance it's at my farm in Ohio. And so if that all comes to fruition, we'll let you guys know, dates and everything like that. But obviously Jeremy and I will be there. And it'd be super cool to host everybody. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. They're still going to do the Iowa one at their place. And then they do one other one.
Oh, there's quite a few.
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be awesome. And then we'll also
that'll be August sometime. So if you guys are looking at calendar, sometime early August probably. Is when that'll be, and that's eastern central Ohio.
And then we're also going to be with the Lone Wolf guys at TAC at Seven Springs. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which do we have a specific day, or we can just be there?
No, AJ's going to help us out with but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Best weather day.
Yeah, maybe Saturday.
Yep. But we'll be at TAC at Seven Springs again and hang out and see Bo and all.
We're always
guys.
bumming tickets off people because we're always behind. They're like, "Oh, did you get your thing?" And they're sold out. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes and they're gone.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
that's
awesome. Freaking good for you.
Good for you. Yeah, mad. So, but we'll be in the Lone Wolf booth for sure, and we'll bounce over to Hoyt there and stuff too. But definitely grab us in the pits.
So that'll be fun. So yeah, these are just kind of all the things stacking up, and hopefully some farm work in between. And other than that, just freaking grinding, like just work grinding.
Yeah, dude.
At this point,
it's good. It's been good lately.
Yeah, we're about to get a lot of rain. Which I don't know if I think we're out of the droughts at this point, right?
Oh no. From what? What do you mean?
From like last summer, like we were in like a major deficit.
Oh well, yeah, I'd say so, but I'm certainly some droughts ahead.
Oh yeah, no, they're coming.
Yeah.
I just meant from last year. Did we beat that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I guess I'm excited to get back to the roots of some clover. Hopefully, I have those plots established in up on the ridges in Ohio this year that droughted out last year. Like that was a big loss for me up there. I mean, that was 4.5 acres of like new plots that were like toast.
I'm excited about all the new switch and seeing what this old switch, the switch I planted last year, is going to look like.
Yeah, on your place.
Just across the board, like Illinois.
Did you put new switch in Ohio?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
You are.
I'm putting in like 7 acres this year.
Yep. Soon.
And I have
or when you do beans. Is that what the plan
when
is?
I do beans. Yep. Yeah, May, June. What did I planted last year? Like, I don't know, total of 1.5 acres.
Yep.
To
those buffers.
Something like that. And they all look, pretty good. So yeah, I'm excited to see later this summer what those start to turn into.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones that
maybe
always,
there's more, like 2.5 acres.
Always that, you're like June, you're looking, it's really like August, September that stuff is like reaching peak.
Yeah. I'm happy that I know what it looks like now. I'm like, I can definitively say that's switch or it's not for the most part.
We saw quite a bit popping up in Illinois that we planted last year too.
You planted that, dude.
I know. How about that?
Good for you.
It worked.
You can grow switch.
See?
If Jeremy can do it.
Just not on my other farms.
You can do it too.
Apparently. I don't know. Maybe I'll walk my Kentucky farm in a week or so and I'll be like, that's switch.
That's right.
It's possible.
That's right.
It's in there.
Yeah.
No, other than that, you've got the kids coming in for the turkey hunt.
Yeah.
Next weekend in Ohio. So that'll be fun. How many kids are coming in?
I had to buy some turkey calls on Amazon. So I'm ready to guide. I thought it was more, but it's 12. And we're maxed out at 12 kids.
Did you ever get any responses from your letters?
2 of the 12, and they were one was a no, and the other one was like a missed call that I never could get back in touch with.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Tell me there's a chance, yeah. And I'll, that's not the end of it. It is maybe for the turkey hunt, but I've got.
Have you been seeing birds out on the farm?
I mean, I've only got the one camera running. So
yeah, they're there.
There's 2 toms on that, and they're around.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah, this weekend is Kentucky youth, but it was like a monsoon. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
I don't know what our weather's looking like yet.
It's gonna be cold early in the week, but I think it's supposed to get better by the end of the week. So you guys will be fine.
I hate cold when it's turkey hunting.
I know. I saw like Tuesday here in Pennsylvania, it's gonna be like a high of 32 or something. I'm like, what?
Gross.
Done with that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, other than that, just same old, ripping some lips, doing some farm projects.
Some cool partnership announcements for you guys. Not today, probably, but in the next couple of weeks, we'll
on one of the next podcasts.
Drop some bombs for you. Some really cool stuff happening there. So it's fun to see that growing. So
yeah, that's exciting. We got some really cool stuff brewing. No, I wouldn't say any surprises necessarily.
Probably not.
I hopefully when you hear them, you're like, yeah, that makes
sense. That's right.
That makes sense. So. But yeah, other than that, we appreciate you guys listening to the Farm Companion for this week, and catch y'all next week.
Farm Companion.
Take me